Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life from Living Well. My name is Richard. I am your anchor for this week again. The topic I have for you this week, I call it relax. Why relax? Relax is an alien concept. To relax, especially in the midst of cloud of crisis and chaos. Most people, when inevitable or unknown things come to their path, they attach to their intellect to find a solution to intelligent problem. They panic, they worry, they jumpy, and they're reacting. Most of the time, it actually creates more deeper problem for them rather than solve the problem they actually try to run away from. So this week, I'm going to want to look into why you need to embrace relax into your life more rather than less. And what benefit does it bring to you if you know how to remain relaxed, even in the face of challenges? Okay, let's get started. I hope everyone is well, so let's get started. Okay, it is an alien concept to relax, especially in the midst of cloud of crisis or chaos. One form of relax most people know is when they sleep. A few years ago, I once asked an elderly man in his late 70s. So, because every time I have the opportunity to meet anyone, I always take the opportunity to ask them some questions that more like a reflection for myself and how I can bring that to my life as well, if it's helpful. I asked this man on the table we having lunch. He invited me I was a guest in his family. And we sat and I asked him, Emmanuel, tell me, how do you relax? Because I've knew him for over 14 years, but I've never seen him take a time to just chill and relax, do nothing. Even when he's retired, but he always busy. He always doing something. If he doesn't work on his tractor, he'll be working on his bees, feeding them, taking care of them. If he doesn't work on his bees, he will be preparing his apple in his garden. And if he doesn't do any of those things, he will be repairing some of his properties that he rent out. And he's always have things to do. So I asked him, Manuel, tell me, how do you relax in front of his family? And he said, when I sleep. Initially, I find it funny, but when I spend time with myself to digest his response, I find it difficult to understand that only sleep makes someone relax. But in truth, it's not alone. Majority of us, the only form of relax we know is when we sleep. That's why some people, when they struggle to sleep, they need medication to help them to just get a sleep so they can keep their mind quiet. The evidence showed that when we relax, we are able to solve problem or fix issue, either emotional issue, psychological issue, financial issue, health issues, or even relationship issues. Almost any challenges can be resolved from place of relax or attracting positive experiences into our life. So when you learn how to keep your heart, mind quiet, you bound to attract more positive experience into your life. Lazu said, "He that keep his mind quiet, have the whole world under his feet." So the question is, so these are when no benefit of realization. So there is a research that's attached to this that show that when you learn to embrace relax into your life as a way of life, even when you are working, just become totally relax your body and observe things around you. Almost everything that we are afraid of doesn't actually happen. Most people worry about they might not be able to eat tomorrow, and they wake up tomorrow and somebody invite them, or they get the opportunity of a job or income and they're able to eat. Most people worry constantly, and most things that they worry about didn't come to pass. So no wonder these are well-known benefits of realization: slowing heart rate, lowering blood pressure, slowing your breathing rate, improving digestion, maintaining normal blood sugar levels, reducing activity of stress hormone, increasing blood flow to major muscles, reducing muscle tension and chronic pain. So, according to MayoClinic.org, so I find this benefit. I extracted this particular benefit of realization from this website called MayoClinic.org. So, additionally, when you practice relax more into your life, not only all those things that I mentioned above that will be a benefit of it, you will also have improving of concentration and mood. So you're no longer being carried away by your mood. You notice what you feel, and you don't let what you're feeling impact your character or your behavior or your actions. Improving sleep quality, so you sleep more well, not constantly suffer from insomnia. Lowering fatigue. So sometimes I do know some people that you ask them, "How are you today?" and they say tired. And I say, "Why do you tired? You have been going to work for a week, or is it your job? Tell me about your job." You realize that nothing to do with their job relating to their fatigue. Their fatigue is when they actually stop working, they're still working. They're working in their mind. They worry about everything. They worry about their children. They worry about their job. They worry about their relationship. They worry about their bank account. They worry about everything. So their mind is never shut down. Even they are with you, but they are not there. Mentally, their mind is far away in the future, or their mind is far away in the past. So at the end of the day, they are linking a lot of energy that they need to carry on for the day. They've already overborne themselves by their mind because they are unable to relax their mind. They are unable to relax their brain. They just keep it working. So when you relax, you will also reducing anger and frustration. Have you surprised how some people can get angry about anything? Even a cat crossing the road, they get angry. Even water split on the floor, they get angry. Even somebody didn't create. If I heard, if one of my friends called me sometime last week, and he was a little bit irritated by the behavior of other person. So he said a runner was running toward him, and this runner crossed the road, and he expecting him to move away from him. So he stood his ground, and he was really irritated by our behavior. I listened to him. I can see where he's coming from. But then after the thought came to my head that, what will you do? I don't know. So I asked myself again, imagine it's a mad cow running to you. Will you stand there and claim that I was here before you? Probably not. You probably run away before the cow get close to you. But the question is, sometimes we see people and we just forgot that we don't know them. You have no idea whether they are sick in mind, and they are able to easily get us irritated or frustrated by their behavior. So, but when we relax, it reduces the tendency to get caught up with anger or frustration. Because when you relax, you are no longer reacting. You become more acting, you become more assessing the situation the way it is, rather the way you perceive it to be. So, lastly, it will boost the confidence to handle problems. So, because here the problem becomes, there is no key I can tell you to show you that you won't have a problem. You will have a lot of them, but you will have the confidence to handle them without losing a sleep. And this is where relax comes. Almost all difficult challenges that I have in my life are solved from a place of relax. When I ask questions, this answer comes. When I have people that are very challenging in my life, I ask questions, how can I love this person? Not the way I want to love them, not the way I wish to love them, not the way that benefits me directly, but how will I love this person? And when I relax, the answer comes. It's either accepting them, it's either release them, it's either let them be. So, it is for our benefit to accommodate some tools of relaxation into our life. So, what I can tell you today, you read in the scripture that the Bible said, Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. But he didn't tell you how to do these things. He just said, love yourself. And that is the final journey of living and being loving as a nature. But the tools how to do that is not being given to you. You need to figure it out by yourself. And that's where it's tough and challenging sometimes. I think Buddha that once said that it is better to travel well than to arrive. So what I'm trying to tell you today is relax is thing that you should strive to accommodate to your life. You might only be able to do it for 1 minute, 10 minutes, but I feel like something you should embrace every day. At least give some time to it, to just take a deep breath and just relax your body and relax your mind. Don't resist it. Let the thoughts come. Take a deep breath, release it. So it is for our benefit to accommodate some tools of relaxation into our life, such as meditation, mindfulness, creativity. So because when you are involved in a creativity work takes a load of time, and it also takes a lot of concentration, and so you're bound to spend a little bit of time by yourself if you are painting or drawing or writing, or if you are cooking. Your mind is focused on the things that you are doing at that time. At that moment, there's no way you're going to think about the past or the future. That's another way of relaxing yourself. At that moment, the problem that's already locked under the ground, you might be able to get inspiration to solve it. Almost every big event in the history of the world every giant step of solution it came from relaxation. It doesn't come because somebody is so genius and thinking out of the box all the time. Albert Einstein arrived to solve the theory of relativity after I've spent years and years and do a lot of calculation. Now I arrived there, and finally it came. Archimedes solved the problem of density by just relaxing and having a bath. So the same thing with enlightenment, and people think that you reach enlightenment by focus on particular process or doing particular activities or do it like a driving, fasting, praying, going from one place to another, being religious. The evidence shows that you don't reach enlightenment through the stage. Actually, you reach enlightenment when you relax, when you let things be, and your situation drive you to it, and boom, it was our moment for you. So, I mentioned creativity. Another thing that I find very powerful tools to use in relaxing. If meditation is not your thing, if mindfulness is not your thing, if creativity is not your thing, dancing. A dancer doesn't have a destination, but they focus more on process. There is no final destination when you're dancing. You just dance and your body just intelligently enough to follow the rhythms or the sound of the music. So when you're dancing at that moment, the only thing that matters is what you're doing at that moment. There's no way you'll be dancing and you get stuck in the past at the same time. No. Laughing. Humor is the powerful thing. I actually think humor is a enlightenment thing in its own. If you can't see the meaningful side of what is happening in your life, intentionally watching a particular video, like for me personally, I find Just for Laugh very, very hilarious and relaxing. In fact, sometimes I tend to watch it sometimes when I have the time, and I laugh a lot from my bottom of my tummy to anything, and my body just relax. And also thinking positive, because with this you become what you think. So if you become what you think, it is better to think positive than negative in many ways, because whatever you sow, you get it back. Not the same thing you sow, you get it back in multiple back to you. So if we become what we think, then it's better to think positive than negative. A brother once confessed to me, is a old friend, and he confessed to me. He said when he was younger, all his thought is all about having minimum. And I said, why is that? Because he didn't feel like he can get more than that. So he always say, if I have the opportunity to get to a place to get income, I don't even mind. I will just be even working in the mortuary just to get an income. And I said, do you love to work in mortuary, or do you like to have an income? And he preferred to have an income than work in mortuary. And then he said, I've been thinking recently that everything that I thought for myself when I was younger is happened to me now. And I said, so if you want it to change for the next 10 years, change your thinking now. Change your thinking now, because you become what you think. So if you're going to think as a relaxing, think positive. So reaching out for supporting friends and family to continue to develop and improving your well-being. So look for relaxing techniques suitable for your likeness. I find some technique very useful. on www.mayoclinic.org. If something that interests you, you can check it out. So they list a few number of techniques of relaxing. Sometimes it takes humble awareness to notice how quiet and remain calm nature was. So normally when you walk in the nature, like I frequently do myself, it takes a lot to take a step back, to just be an observant and experience what's going on in the nature, because there's so many life in the nature, but one particular life make more noise than the other life, and they only take less than 1% of the population of the nature is the birds. The birds make noise in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night. But when you actually look the whole nature, 99% of the nature is quiet and calm. So the same with our life. Our problem is so noisy, but in true reality within us, if you tap to our relax, the 99% of that, we are more relaxed, we are more in charge of it, we are more able to be the channel that needed to find the solution or to solve the problem. That's why the Buddha said life is suffering, because you will have up and down, you will have up and down, you have up and down, and the only way you'll be able to know what you're able to control, what you're able to accept, it take a bit of relax. Within that relax and quiet mind, you get direction or thought what you need to do or what you do not need to do. So do not let the noise of your worry become bigger than worry himself. As a result, it will drain your energy and make it impossible for you to change it. Sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is to step outside and do nothing. Relax and enjoy nature. That was the word of Melanie Charlene. And I think there is a wisdom in this, because when you think about it, the way we are raised, most people are raised to be fixing problem all the time. Sometimes problem not necessarily a bad thing, it might actually leading you to a better place that you never thought you would be. Someone once said to me that once their relationship broke down and is everything they want, but after 2 years of that, they have reflection, they find themselves where they never thought that they would be, but that's the place they were happy to be. Initially, if they make that choices by themselves, they will never choose that pathway. But that pathway lead them to who they have become and where they want to be. I remember this story that I had when I was very young. It was a very powerful story, and it was a story that I'm not quite sure whether it's true or not. But this is how the person shared the story. And one day, then it was young person in a Sunday school class, and the story goes like this. There was a Christian lady that she's a merchant, and she took a commercial bus to a commercial capital to go and buy her goods. On their way coming back, on their way to the capital city to buy the goods, majority of people in that bus are merchants. So there's armed robbers on the road. Pinpoint the buses that might carry people with a lot of cash. At that time, people don't carry card. and they don't do bank transfer. So you carry your cash with you. So the bus was stopped in the middle of the night because the journey himself is over 16 hours on the road. So the armed robbers start looting all of them in the bus, taking their property away from them and asking them to come out of the bus and lie down on the grass beside the road. And the people screaming. And so this woman, because she was so religious and because she was especially and so believed that only Jesus Christ can help her out in this current situation he found herself. So the armed robbers were collecting the money one by one. By the time they got to her to collect her money and her property, so according to the person that shared the story, the woman screamed and he shouted out and he shouted, Jesus! And unknown to everyone in the bus or even the armed robbers, unknown to them, there is uncompleted building in that part of the road, and there was a homeless man that also have some psychotics that living took the place as his resident was there, and the woman screamed when the armed robbers was about to collect her money. She just screamed Jesus. So because it was so dark in the night, the homeless guy responded, yes. So because the armed robber wasn't aware there's another person not far away, and the response they got and the name, so they panic. They left all the money and they run away. And even those people that are losing too, they also run away because they were not able to face Jesus. So the homeless guy didn't come, but his response to the call of the woman. So the irony of the story is that the problem is so big that it was so forceful, but what solved the problem was so powerful and it's soft. Only because she shouted Jesus and then the unknown person answered yes. And that's what defeated the armed robbers. So normally if you allow your fear to overcome you, you might not actually do the right thing for the current problem. So what I'm trying to say to bring this podcast to the end is embrace relax. I saw a few things when I was in Japan. I saw people spending 1 minute to just keep their mind quiet in front of the temple. And I asked myself, so since then I've embraced this practice to myself to take 2 minutes every 1 hour to just take a deep breath and relax. So I implore you to embrace being relaxed into your own life. It will help you. It might make your life become more balanced, and you might be able to solve any problem from the point of relax. So I hope this podcast helps someone. If you want to reach out or get in touch, please write to me at Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and I hope you have an amazing week. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.